and we are about to do it. We have a banger for you. We're excited. We're adjusting, getting things going. Listen, the first thing I want to say is I want to thank anybody that gets on here and tries to help us. Listen, man, we're a brand new page. We got a lot of info on our page already. We got a lot of videos. We got a lot of short videos, and we're building. If you check us out, please do. Most of all, we stand true tellers, man. We're just in there to get the information, get it to you, and keep things real, man. Keep it in the truth. Keep it in the right light. And listen, man, we thank God for each and every one of you. We're believers here, and we support social beliefs. We believe in the good, bad, and the ugly. That needs to be a light shining on darkness, on lies, on whatever may. Because listen, our world right now is hurting, man. Our people are hurting. Your people are hurting. My people are hurting. Our families are hurting. And listen, man, just a lot of crazy stuff going on in our system. One of our biggest problems, besides obviously, we're always going to have political problems, social problems, and our social problem right now is our police forces, man. Uh, I believe it needs to be dealt with. I believe that we, the people, need to take back the police force and start policing uh, the police force. I do not. I don't know how it used to be the people. We the people. We used to. We still do vote them in, vote them out, and our taxes pay their bills and pays for their jobs. But we need to take it back, man. We need to come up with a new plan because there's just so much dirt. Policing themselves don't work. Bottom line. So please subscribe if you agree. If you don't agree, please leave comments, man. I want to love to talk. Please leave comments. That's my biggest thing here. Besides, please finish the video. If you start the video, if you don't want to subscribe, that's cool. I hope you do, though. There's two things we really need you to do. Not only subscribe, but please finish the video. When you start a video and don't finish it, it hurts the channel. One of the best things you can do is finish. Just let it play out, man. Give us the grace to play out our videos. Give us a chance to prove ourselves to you. And listen, man, if we do, you like it, leave a comment. If you don't, leave comments and maybe where we can better ourselves, where we can maybe adjust some things to maybe you would like it. Or maybe there's some issues that you feel people are not putting a light on. Share what you would like to see here on this channel. Challenge me, and I don't have a problem sharing certain things. I just don't. And sometimes I just maybe just don't know what's out there. So, all right, guys, no further ado, man. Thank you for coming on here. And remember, what is it? There's 76% of you that come on here that just watch and do not subscribe. And please, like I said, two things. If you're not subscribing, you get two choices: subscribe or just finish the video. I would say if you don't want to subscribe, finish the video. That's all I ask. Okay, guys? Love you, man. Listen, write me and please leave comments on each. We got a few videos on here. Leave some comments on what you think about this video. All right? All right, guys. Let's get started.
No permission, no probable cause to search. Well, where's the
Cops often believe they are untouchable, but watch how their careers came crashing down in these courtrooms when they were up against these stern judges, kicking things off with a courtroom moment where an officer is pressed on her decision to conduct a stop, and her answers raise even more questions than the stop itself.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Abigail Wilson on behalf of the people.
And Attorney Luke Goodrich from the Public Defender's Office here to represent Ms. Robbins, who's standing to my right.
Today was the date scheduled for preliminary examination on carrying a concealed weapon. Are we ready to proceed?
The people are ready, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Any preliminary matters before we call witnesses?
Nothing to people. Officer Burkett, where are you currently employed?
City Land Police Department.
And what is your job title?
Police officer.
What are your general duties?
Respond to call for service, self-initiated activity, and officer presence patrol.
How long have you been a police officer?
With Lansing, it'll be 2 years and 14 days, and overall, I think I've been licensed for about 3 years.
Okay. Now, were you working as a Lansing police officer on December 12th of 2024?
Yes.
And what was your assignment on that date?
Road patrol.
And what were you wearing while you were working that date?
Full uniform.
And does that have police on it?
It does.
And were you in a car, on foot, or something else?
I arrived in a fully marked car.
And is that department issued?
Yes.
Now, on that December 12th date, you said you were dispatched for a personal injury accident, is that correct?
Yes.
And by that, do you mean a motor vehicle accident?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you arrived at that location, what was happening?
There was a car in the northbound lanes of 10, slightly in the road that appeared to have collided with the curb and then a truck.
Everything appeared calm during the initial questioning, but moments later, the entire courtroom was thrown into chaos.
Were you able to make contact with anybody involved in that accident?
Yes.
Who?
Sierra Robbins, the driver.
And do you see Sierra Robbins here in the courtroom?
I do.
Can you point her out and describe something she's wearing?
She is in the black knitted sweater.
Do you have an opportunity to speak with her?
I did.
What was that conversation?
I talked to her about her bloody nose for a little bit, got her license, and then we did talk about insurance.
And what happened when you started talking about insurance?
To my recollection, I began asking where it was at, told me the glove box. To my, again, recollection, I said, do you mind? She was interrupted, she said, go ahead. I went into the glove box, and at that point, I found the firearm.
Now remember, chat, listen, man, something just don't sound right. You know, this is an accident. This is an accident. That's all it is. Just an accident. You know, get your information, blah, blah, blah. They tow your car or whatever, right? But I am thinking this police officer went over and beyond her job. Again, these cops taking full advantage of people. And she did something. I don't know what it is yet. But I'll bet you, that has something to do with going inside that car without no permission. That's the only thing I can think of right now. Unless that girl ran or something, I don't know. We'll see. But something don't seem right.
And do you remember what kind of firearm that was?
It was a revolver.
Let me know,
Do
chat.
you recall if
Oh.
Ms. Robbins had a CPL?
She said that she did, and she did not.
And were you able to run a law enforcement check on her?
Yes.
Did it come back as her having a CPL?
She did not, no. I had Ingham County run that.
Okay. And did she acknowledge that the gun was in fact hers?
She said that her dad bought it for her under her dad's name.
But she knew that it was in the car, is that correct?
Yes.
From here, the proceedings grow far more heated, with the defense attorney carefully unraveling
Oh,
the
it's in the
officer's
car.
justification.
And you
Okay.
recognize that this is the
Oh,
report that
so-
you wrote on,
Whoa.
back on December the 12th?
Yep.
And when you do a police report, do you essentially kind of go off memory, or do you go by like the notes you take on scene, or how do you do that?
All of the above.
And do you remember specifically in this case, did you use all of the above?
Yep, I used my memory and the notes on scene. This report was written shortly after the accident was,
Did you turn your body cam video on that day?
I was running code there. And so with the way our cars are set up, it automatically turns our body camera on while we're running.
Okay, so your body cam was clearly running throughout this entire situation.
Yes.
So it is your testimony today that essentially Ms. Robbins gave you consent to search her glove
Oh.
box prior to you going into her car.
Yes, in the way I perceived it, yes.
See, I knew it, chat. That's what it is. Guaranteed she didn't get no prior authorization to go in. What is she going in her car for? For what? For what? All she's got to get is her license and insurance. That's it. She ain't drunk. She ain't high. You know, what is she going in her car for? Yes, you see, let's see here.
Was there another vehicle involved in this?
No, she says she hit the ice back here.
Okay, she just gets here.
She definitely came up through.
Is this
video, is it clear that you actually had contact with Miss Robbins prior to her being in the ambulance on this occasion?
Yes.
I can't, like, get back there. Why don't you get her? You want something to check you on? I'll come to you in a second.
What?
With you having seen now your first contact with Miss Robbins, did she attempt to essentially tell you?
She goes up to start talking to the lady about the. She just gets her, and when she told her, "I'll talk to you later." What was that all about? Where is she doing? What do you mean? You just get on a wreck. Lady comes up to talk to you that was in the wreck, and she says, "I'll talk to you later," and starts walking away. That makes no this whole thing don't make sense right now. You're there to talk to the lady who just got in the wreck.
Up the scene about what happened with the car?
Yes, but I prioritized her injuries rather than the statement at that time.
Okay, so you sent her away to the ambulance.
Yes.
And so there's been no consent to search the vehicle at that point, having what you've seen there?
What follows becomes the defining moment of the trial as body cam footage is shown, placing the officer's actions under an unfiltered spotlight.
An officer, is that you opening the car door, opening the glove box, and starting to pull materials out of the glove box?
Yes.
And then officer, is that you proceeding to essentially kind of search through the center console of the vehicle at that time?
Yes, but not for any criminal reasons.
Then for what reason?
Yes, I search the places that are people most commonly hold their insurances.
Okay.
For what?
And that would be the moment that you found the firearm in the glove compartment?
Yes.
So after, I guess, seeing this video, is it now your testimony that you did not speak with Ms. Robbins at the ambulance prior to going into that car?
Correct. After seeing this video, it is refreshed, yes.
And it is also your testimony that you had no probable cause of a crime being committed on scene?
Objection, Your Honor, that is a legal conclusion.
Your Honor, I'm asking what her reasoning to search the vehicle.
She can make a determination as to whether or not there was probable cause to search.
It is our policy and procedure that whenever there's an accident, we get license, registration, proof of insurance. At this time,
The question is whether or not you have probable cause to search.
no.
And based on the video you've seen now, you did not receive any consent from the driver to search those areas of the vehicle. Is that correct?
There's no way around it. The footage confirms the officer lacked both consent and probable cause.
Why
leaving her
would she
actions
do
exposed.
that?
And this video was a fair and accurate representation of what went on?
Yes, this is what happened.
Then, officer, at some point after this, you go and speak with Ms. Robbins in the ambulance, make sure she's okay at that point.
Yes.
And then she was released on scene.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I didn't read it.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Burkett, do you know what happened with the vehicle after this accident?
I don't recall.
Okay. And are you aware of any requirements that individuals carry insurance when they're operating a vehicle?
Yes, it's law.
Okay. And you said, I believe on cross, that it's routine for your department to ask for that insurance. Is that correct?
Yes.
And was that your purpose in going into the car, was to confirm that there was in fact insurance?
If she's being evaluated for an injury, there's a chance this vehicle is going to be towed.
Well, strike that. There's no question. You know, but I have a question now.
Yes.
Because maybe I missed something. You testified on your direct that she gave you permission to go in the glove box. She told you that the insurance was there.
Yes, this was prior to being requested.
Okay, so the video we shows after that she never told you that she had insurance in the glove box. And so you went and opened the door without her permission and went in the glove box and then went in the center console. No permission. No probable cause to search.
Thank you, Your Honor. Based on the testimony here today and the evidence, we are at this point not requesting final over on this charge. Thank you.
Case is dismissed. You're all set. We'll get you a dismissal.
And just like that, the case collapsed. How many lives are upended by stories like this? One version on paper,
man.
another under oath until the video exposes the truth. It's disgraceful. This
See, the thing with this chat is and please write in the comments. I want to hear from you guys. But listen, she had no reason to go into that car. The lady approaches her and she dismisses her, like, no, just go over there right now. And then she starts walking to her car. I mean, think about this for a minute. She went directly to her car, opened her car door, and just started going through her stuff. She did that purposely. She had an evil motivation to find something in that car that would, for whatever reason, get her more in trouble, or, find something, maybe, she's drinking or something. I don't know. But a police officer doesn't just walk past you, tell you to go over there, and just go straight into your car. There's no crime. It's a traffic violation. The wreck. She's, the lady's, probably, not in the best of spirits right now. If anything, needs your support. Comfort her and, talk to her. You okay? Is this, find out everything's going on with her. Instead, she just kind of, pushes her to the side and just goes on handling business with no information about that person whatsoever. That is not procedure. That was downright low. And then to just, oh yeah, she gave me permission, blah, blah, blah. She knows she didn't have permission. She knew she didn't have permission. She just hoped that it just didn't go to court and that no one challenged the, what was going on there. It's a new world today, man. You have to start. These body cams are the best thing that's ever happened to cops in the last 50 years. I'm telling you, chat. Come on. Go ahead, subscribe, hit those like buttons, baby. Give us some help, some support. We need you.
When the gavel
We
came
need
down
ya.
harder than expected.
I took photos of
Let
the
this
female that I
and let the
arrested.
video play
Why
out.
would you plead no contest to a charge of disorderly conduct for having done that?
In 2014,
Check this guy out.
Officer
Let's
Brian
see.
Pergandy was accused of disorderly conduct after snapping disturbing close-up photos of a woman he had once arrested, and now he was about to face the consequences.
Mr. Pergandi, if
What?
you give up all those rights today and thereby give up the right to have a trial, there's never going to be a trial in these matters, sir, and instead we are going to resolve it all here this morning. You understand that? Mr. Pergandi, you're joining with your lawyer, sir, in pleading no contest to this disorderly conduct charge back from September the 8th, 2009. What is it specifically that you did that you're causing you to plead no contest to disorderly conduct here today, Mr. Pergandi?
I took photos that were eventually blown up, I believe.
What?
I took photos of a
What?
female that I arrested.
And why would you plead no contest to a charge of disorderly conduct for having done that?
I guess I broke policy, and I guess I made her feel uncomfortable, Your Honor.
Why would you have made her feel uncomfortable, sir?
The judge wasn't about to let this slide. He grilled the cop and escalated the charges to a felony trial. The courtroom quickly turned into a lesson in humility when this officer realized the badge doesn't shield you from justice.
On the unclassified felony of armed criminal action, I sentence you to a term of incarceration of 6 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections.
On December 3rd, 2019, a call about a man chasing his girlfriend ends in tragedy. As the suspect pulled into his driveway, Officer Eric DeValcanair ordered him to step out of the truck. When he didn't comply, DeValcanair fired twice, killing him instantly. What followed was a murder charge and a trial that kept everyone waiting for the verdict.
I to expect that no matter what I hear, I will only consider factors that are appropriate and that I will disregard those that are inappropriate. And that is what I've done here. And as a result, I've concluded as follows. There are a number of facts in this case that are both aggravating and mitigating, sometimes all at the same time. First and foremost is this undeniable and uncontested fact. Cameron Lamb is dead. And Eric DeValcanair killed him. That's undisputed. Cameron Lamb was by all accounts a helpful and loving son, brother, father, and friend. People who have contacted me and who I have heard from today have described him as funny, caring, giving. Miss Gray called him a protector, a jokester, and my favorite of all the ones that I read, not a saint, but our angel.
The judge spoke bluntly. addressing the officer directly in open court before concluding the case.
Cameron Lamb's death leaves an irreparable and unfillable void in the lives of his family and his friends, and also in our community. Also, as I'm weighing all these facts, it can't be overlooked that the events of December 3rd of 2019 were initially set into motion by Cameron Lamb. And his decision to chase his girlfriend through city streets at dangerously high speeds, putting motorists and other members of the public at risk. However, those events tragically concluded with the actions of Troy Schwam and the defendant. Sergeant Schwam pulling into the driveway, immediately getting out with his weapon drawn, rapidly moving into the backyard, carport, garage area of the house, and defendant doing the same. Both without taking a breath, without pausing for the briefest of moments to consider where they were going, what they would find when they got back there, whether they were acting lawfully in doing so, and whether there might be some other safer option, without so much as a, "Hey, Troy, wait."
The truth was clear. Cameron Lamb wasn't reaching for a gun, and the judge spelled out every detail while the officer listened from her seat.
At any point,
This cop is hitting it to the T, man. You know, he's saying, listen, he pulls it after the chase or whatever, he slows down, he goes to his house, he backs the car in, he chills out, he's at his house now. Cops drive up and they ain't chilled. They're still like, yeah, we got guns, we're ready to shoot this guy, you know. In other words, this guy de-escalated the whole situation. They're saying when he drove the rest of the way home, he wasn't speeding, he was driving, slow. He just went back home, just gave up, the whole situation. And these guys escalated it to the point running into his house, running into his garage with guns pointed, instead of saying, hey, we come out here and talk to us. What's going on, man? What's happening, man? Come on. You're running around, you're chasing your woman or whatever's happening, or you get in a fight. What's going on? Talk to us. Instead, they come in with guns, bro. Guns. Think about that. After maybe 15, 20 minutes, the guy's at his house. He comes walking outside. Think about that. That's crazy. Cops are trained to decline or what's that word they always say? They're usually talking people down, de-escalate. They didn't do that. That's what this cop is saying. This cop's not even a, hey man, what's going on? He hit that right on the head.
Sergeant Schwam and the defendant could have done this. A fact that is made even more aggravating as the court considers an appropriate sentence in this case by the fact that the one person who ultimately did take a breath that morning was Cameron Lamb.
That's right. See?
He did this when at some point, while he was chasing his girlfriend, he decided to discontinue the chase and to go home. The video from the helicopter shows this decision, shows how it played out. Cameron Lamb is not racing through the streets of his neighborhood at this point. He's not driving through yards to get away from anyone. He does not abandon the truck and let it roll into someone's yard while he flees on foot. Rather, he simply pulls into the driveway of his home, pulls around back, puts the vehicle into reverse, and slowly begins backing it down the driveway under the carport and into his garage. Then Sergeant Schwam and Eric DeValconaire arrive, and as the court has found, an encounter that was over and a situation that had de-escalated was again escalated by what I have found, rightly or wrong.
That's the key right there. The situation was de-escalated. It was no longer a chase. It was no longer, it was done. It was over. Now they just needed to make contact again to find out what the heck is going on. That's it. What's going on, man? Come on. Cops we're not trained to be judge, jury, and and whatever, pronounce, death or whatever on anybody. No. They're there to help people work through their problems, man. what happened? Well, you know, why was you chasing her? You know, you were doing something crazy. Come on, let me get your information. Sit down. You know, relate to people, man. We know cops have problems just like us, but for some reason they don't ever try to relate. And that's exactly what this judge is talking about. He's saying there was no trying to connect. There was no, you know, nothing. Hey man, you're having a bad day. You know, what happened? Who knows? Maybe they just lost a child. Maybe somebody just died in their family or whatever. It's something crazy. But you don't know until you know, find out, man. And that's the problem with our police today, man. There's people that are having, especially people with uh that are mentally sick and are having a bad day, and they don't try to say, hey, this guy's acting kind of weird, you know, maybe or you know, maybe he's a dementia patient, maybe he's, I mean, there's all kinds of situations over and over and over and over where cops just instead of de-escalate, they escalate situation to the point where they get to use force, and that's what they want. But it's not working no more because body cams are revealing that whoever is making the situation worse is the guilty party. Bottom line.
Was there unlawful entry into the backyard carport area and
Yes.
confrontation
Yes, there
of
was.
Cameron Lamb? This is an aggravating factor.
This wasn't law enforcement. It was abuse of
Aggravating
power. Officers crossed the
factor.
line, barged into a home without cause, and left an innocent man dead.
The circumstances of the offenses described during the trial, however, also provide the court with a mitigating factor. I found, as I've considered the evidence in the case, that the defendant, Eric DeValconaire, testified credibly at trial that he was rushing to provide cover for Sergeant Schwang,
Straight
who had
up.
rushed into the backyard with his weapon drawn, prompting the defendant to do the same from the other side of the house. Although not in the court's view, again, rightly or wrongly, negating his obligation to act with reasonable care, as the court found he has failed to do, murder and involuntary manslaughter arising from criminal negligence are two different things. They are different legal concepts.
Yep.
They are different things. Eric DeValconaire is not Derek Chauvin, who murdered George Floyd. Eric DeValconaire is not one of the 3 men in Georgia convicted of running down and murdering
Wow.
Ahmaud Arbery.
Wow.
This is a mitigating factor. Defendant has no prior criminal history. His ORAS scores him as a low risk in all categories. Defendant's
See, he is laying the facts out. This guy is not a felon. This guy doesn't have a record. He's just having a bad day, and the cops are treating this guy like he has been in prison most of his life, and that he's a felon, that he's a dangerous man. They not only chase him down, then they find it, then they took time to find where he lives. In other words, they kept things just going no matter what. And when we get there, we'll pull guns out. And then when we get there, we're going to run into the house. We don't care about anything because this guy should. And I know already what this cop's feeling. You shouldn't have ran from us. You're gonna suffer the consequences. You should have never ran. And that's all he kept. He just kept it red. He just kept it red. And if you see the body cam footage, it's exactly what happens.
history as a police officer, husband and father, friend and colleague is also a mitigating factor that I have taken into account, as his father asked me to do, which I was already going to do, and that is to consider the totality of the circumstances and to consider the totality.
What made this case even more shocking was the judge ruling in favor of the suspect, even though the facts pointed to yet another unmistakable killing.
Facts and the circumstances in the history of defendant's career and his life that have been presented to this court have demonstrated he has not hesitated to immediately take action when he believed the circumstances surrounding him warranted it. And this trait has generally served him and others well. It also failed him, as it did on December 3rd of 2019. All of which, however, leads the court back to where it began an evaluation of the impact of the
Come on,
defendant's
chat.
crime on
Come
Cameron
on, chat.
Lamb and his family.
Truth
Cameron
is
Lamb
truth.
is dead. Eric DeValcanaire killed him. And the
Bottom.
court has found that that happened because the defendant acted without considering or being aware of the substantial and unjustifiable risks associated with his conduct, and that his actions were a gross deviation from the standard of care that a reasonable person would exercise
Come
in the
on.
situation. Having concluded,
Come on, chat.
as I have, having considered all those factors, I ask counsel if there's any legal reason or cause having been shown why sentence and judgment of the court should not now be pronounced. Eric DeValcanaire, on count 1, the Class E felony of involuntary manslaughter in the second degree, I sentence you to a term of incarceration in the Missouri Division of Adult Institutions of 3 years. On the unclassified felony of armed criminal action, I sentence you to a term of incarceration of 6 years in the Missouri Department of Corrections. Those cases, or rather those counts and sentences, will run concurrent with one another for a total term of incarceration of 6 years.
Eric was found guilty of murdering Cameron Lamb, yet he walked away with just 6 years. The
Man.
reduced sentence makes one thing clear. He was protected because he was a cop. He came in thinking he was untouchable, but the judge wasted no time reminding him he wasn't above the law.
We, the jury, having found the defendant Aaron York deemed guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the offense of manslaughter, assess his punishment at confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for 11 years, 10 months, 12 days.
In this next case, justice comes knocking for Aaron Dean, a former cop.
Now listen, chat. You have to understand something. 10, 12 years ago, let's say maybe 15 years ago, and back from there, cops didn't get arrested. They could never, whatever the cop wrote down, whatever he put on the report was it. That was it. That's what the judge had to go with, and that there was nothing unless somebody else had some evidence or somebody else was taking pictures, or something. But then phones came in, and then boom, boom, people started seeing stuff. So that helped a lot because every phone has a camera, blah, blah, blah. So that started becoming a problem. Then Obama put in body cams on police officers, and they were like, what? Now we got to work video cameras on us? Now, if you're a good cop, it protects you and your rights too. You got to remember, the hands of justice go hand in hand. But if you're a crooked cop, man, and you gotta wear a body cam, it is not a good day for you. And that's in the beginning, that's how a lot of cops were, because they got away with a lot of stuff. And I'm telling you, it's changed the game, and it's bringing accountability to something that was long overdue. Please, chat, let me hear from you guys. Let's go. Let's look at this one. Another one.
Who shot an innocent woman through her bedroom window is finally facing the
Oh,
consequences.
you guys remember
Now
this one,
he's
right?
about to be charged with one of the most shocking and senseless murder you'll ever hear about.
Verdict reads, we, the jury, having found the defendant Aaron York deemed guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of the offense of manslaughter, assess his punishment at confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for 11 years, 10 months, 12 days. They do not assess a fine, and it is signed by the presiding juror. You may be seated. Thank you very much. Juror number 1, is this your verdict? Yes, Your Honor. Juror number 3, is this your verdict? Yes, Your Honor. Juror number 4, is this your verdict? Yes, Your Honor. Juror number 6, is this your verdict? Yes, Your Honor. Juror number 9, is this your verdict? Juror number 38, is this your verdict? Yes, Your Honor. Your verdict will be received and filed. Thank you very much. Mr. Gill,
Come
Mr.
on,
Brissett,
guys.
is there any legal reason why
The
sentence
hands
should
of
not be
justice.
pronounced? Mr. Dean, it's the jury having found you guilty of the offense of manslaughter and assessed
Guilty,
punishment.
brother.
In order the court, you be remanded to the custody of the sheriff. Be deployed
Okay,
to the
chat.
Director of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
You're our judge and jury.
As required by law.
What do you think?
You will receive credit for all the time that you have served in custody on this case from the date of your original arrest up until today, which would be the date of sentence. If you are indigent and cannot afford a lawyer, I would conduct an indigency hearing to determine if you are indigent And if you are innocent, I would appoint a lawyer to represent you
Come on,
on the appeal
man.
and provide you a record of this appeal of this trial at no cost.
Guilty.
Is there an allocution? You may be seated. Thank you very much.
After all that, Dean escaped a murder conviction and was sentenced to just 11 years for manslaughter, and many say that's a slap on the wrist for such a shocking crime. While some judges let lies slide, Judge Fleischer dives deep, examining every statement as if he were interrogating a suspect.
How on earth am I supposed to find probable cause when Mickey Mouse is writing these reports?
What should have been a routine second DWI case spirals out of control when the prosecutor's report falls apart, pushing Judge Fleischer to his limit.
On April 11th, an officer was dispatched to an unknown accident, and noticed a vehicle, a pickup truck, illegally parked in the front yard of the residence. There were fresh tires, skid marks, a broken wheel, and axle visibly appeared to be damaged from the Ram truck to a legally parked red Jeep Compass. The law enforcement officer made contact with the complainant and said that the damage to the Jeep was brought on $5,000. The defendant admitted to driving the truck. Was later identified. The officer also made contact with the wheel witness, who stated that he witnessed the defendant in the white truck in the driver's seat behind the wheel and observed him exit the vehicle from the driver's side door. In the vehicle, the wheel witness observed he was not stumbling.
You went what?
And then the wheel witness observed slurred speech and strong with alcohol beverage committing from the defendant's breath and person.
What?
The defendant also admitted that he was trying to leave the scene and go home, but his vehicle was stolen. The officer made contact with the defendant, who was detained, and noticed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage. And the officer then conducted a standardized field sobriety test, where he witnessed. Sorry, Your Honor, the DIMS leaves off and does not show the standardized field sobriety test.
The prosecutor piled on the accusations, but the defense attorney's reply shifted the momentum completely.
The officer asked the defendant his intoxication level. The defendant said he was at a 6 out of 10.
Who gave this report, man?
Where the DWI investigation stops. The first response that I have is that no field sobriety tests were performed. It also, the credibility of the wheel witness was never discussed in the DIMS, whether the officer found them credible and reliable, etc. So I really can't make a lot of sense out of.
It's like the DIMS you're reading these like going through a drive-through, man. I mean, really, who's writing the reports?
Yes, Your Honor.
Over and over and over. I mean, really.
Missing tests, unclear witness accounts, the report was a mess, and it didn't take long for Judge Fleischer to reach his limit.
So, Judge, things don't say it. Don't say what is the results of those very field sobriety tests, and we do not have knowledge.
How on earth am I supposed to find probable cause when Mickey Mouse is writing these reports?
I don't say.
Oh my
I don't know why
gosh.
it's on the DIMS. Obviously, we didn't write it here. We represent what is written in there, and so
I like this judge. I've seen him over and over. He's
If
straight
you're
up.
going to find no probable cause in your case, don't kill anyone. You know, every single day on the news, how many people die in our county because of a DWI? How many? Every single day. We lead the nation in alcohol-related collisions and fatalities because of boneheaded moves that are made day in, day out. Now, this is not to say that they may not indict this case at a later time, but whatever, just don't kill someone, please.
He admitted he was drunk, yet Judge Fleischer didn't hesitate and tossed the case for lack of probable cause. Well, that brings us to the end of this video. Today we saw an officer's career end in the courtroom within minutes, proving that misconduct and arrogance have immediate consequences. These moments show that no matter...
Okay, Chad, listen up, man. We're gonna bring you another one. We're gonna be bringing some social issues. We're gonna be bringing some police issues. We're gonna be bringing the good, the bad, the ugly, the bang bang bangs, and sometimes the life-giving side, where people are giving life, where people are actually changing other humans' lives, the life-changing stuff. And that's what really life is all about. So listen, make sure you reach out and touch somebody. Make sure you're making a difference today in somebody else's life. And remember, if you get blessed, make sure that you turn your blessing into somebody else's opportunity to do better and to get on the right track. Because there's too many of us that are blessed that don't reach out to others and don't try to make a difference where it really counts. And that's in the lives of friends or family or just an innocent bystander. All right. Have a good day. Blessings.